Okay, guys, I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this article from the Gateway Pundit. Pure evil, the United Nations unveils a statue at its New York City headquarters that resembles the beast from the book of Revelation. Look at that. Wow, isn't that ugly? Well, let's keep reading. And it says, this absolutely gigantic statue is called the Guardians of International Peace and Security. Can you believe it? The Guardian of International Peace and Security. Now, where have you heard that phrase, the Guardian?
Or a full-time servant for many years, and is able to fulfill the role of the governing body, which is, may I state, a spiritual group of men who are the guardians of our doctrine, who are the guardians of our doctrine, who are the guardians of our doctrine. And as guardians of the doctrine, look at things that need to be decided based on our doctrines, which are based on the Constitution of the Bible.
Yes, it was Jeffrey Jackson that was calling the governing body God, or God, Guardians of Doctrine. So, where isn't it interesting that they're using the same language? Is that a coincidence? Well, I don't know. Now, it says here the Guardians of International Peace and Security. Now, that's come from the Bible text that is found in 1 Thessalonians, I believe. And let me see if I can pull it up. Here it is. Now, if you notice, a lot of the older translations of the Bible use the phrase peace and safety. But the newer translations, the Bibles that say new this and new that, New World Order, translation of the Holy Scriptures, they use the phrase international peace and security. Peace and security. Now, I'm not a Bible scholar, and I know some ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, when they leave the Jehovah's organization, they become Bible scholars. If you can explain that to me, that would be great. Why the modern versions use peace and security versus the older ones, peace and safety. Now, that's not all. Let's look at another clip, because the title is There Is No Such Thing as Coincidences. The 11th of October of 2001, it says, to whom it may concern, recently the NGO section has been receiving numerous inquiries regarding the Association of the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of New York. And it says, this organization applied for association with the DPI in 91 and was granted association in 92. But in October 2001, the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of New York requested termination of its association with the DPI. Now, here's the thing. For almost 10 years, Watchtower was on one side working with the United Nations, while on the other side, they had made their members in that decade study the book Revelation, as grand climax at hand, 4 times. Think about that, because you used to go to the book studies. You know what Watchtower said about the United Nations in that book, while at the same time they were an NGO. Oh my God, they were an NGO. Another word, organization, a non-governmental organization. Isn't it interesting that Jehovah has an organization here on earth? Jehovah's organization here on earth. Well, Jesus doesn't have an organization here on earth. Jesus never said he was going to have an organization here on earth. But it's interesting that Jehovah,
who are the guardians of our
doctrine, who has an organization on earth, just like the NGOs, an organization. Why are they all using the same language? And then it's not, we don't finish there. Look at the Bible that the Watchtower uses, the New World Order translation of the Holy Scriptures. You think that the Watchtower could have used other words like the Bible, the Holy Scripture, the Holy Bible as its title page? Instead, they use the words the New World. Isn't that interesting? So, when you get all of these things together, does it prove anything? Absolutely not. But it is.
Now, I don't want to say nothing bad about our president, but you have to admit, it looks a little suspicious.
It is a little suspicious. And so if you're a Jehovah's Witness and you still think, like I got a few people that wrote me, they're Jehovah's Witnesses, and they said, Gilbert, the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses have gone rogue, and they're like an apostate, like the Pharisees and the Sadducees. No. Jehovah has no organizations here on earth. Only the United Nations has organizations here on Earth. They're called NGOs. And Watchtower was a member of the NGO, one of many NGOs.
But you have to admit, it looks a little suspicious.
And Watchtower is a guardian. The leaders are telling you that they're guardians. Guardians of what? Guardians of international peace and security? You know, guardians of doctrine? It doesn't matter.
But you have to admit, it looks a little suspicious.
It's over. This religion, by its fruits, by its own words, are telling you who they're in bed with. They're telling you that they're sleeping with the devil. It's open, man. If you don't believe, my other videos had a conspiracy, right? That we were lab rats of the New World Order. And I'm sticking to it. So does all this information, the statue, the title, Guardians of International Peace and Security, Guardians of Doctrine, the membership letter, the title of the Bible, does it prove anything?
But you have to admit, it looks a little suspicious.
That's all I'm saying. And I'm not trying to tell you what to believe and how to believe. You have to make this your own decision, and you have to come to your own conclusions. Because if I'm going to telling you that you have to believe what I'm saying, then I'm no different than Watchtower. I'm no different in telling you how to think. I'm just saying it's a little suspicious.
But you have to admit, it looks a little suspicious.
It is a little suspicious, and you got to look at all this information, and you have to look and say, something's wrong here. And look at what's happening in the world. I tell everybody, everything that we're living through right now, we lived it through as a Jehovah's Witness. We see it in the world. Look at what's happening with all this censorship. If you don't take a jab, or if you don't do this, or if you stand 5 feet next to somebody instead of 6 feet, if you don't wear a mask, all this stuff, what do? They disfellowship you. You're seeing disfellowshipping on a global scale. Well, hell, where the hell they get this disfellowshipping from? Well, we're lab rats. It works. It works really well. And they had a lot of different religions and a lot of different institutions that they practice on before they finally pulled and said, you know what, we're going to go full steam ahead with this. Yeah, they saw how it worked in a petri dish. We were part of that petri dish. And the other people were as well, in other religions, in other countries, in other groups. And now you're seeing it implemented worldwide. That's my opinion. But that's why I believe it's a little suspicious.
But you have to admit, it looks a little suspicious.
It's a little suspicious that all of these things that you're seeing, mimic what Watchtower is saying and mimicking what the United Nations is saying. And now you get to, and now you know whose side they really are on. And now you know that who they're sleeping with. I don't know. To me, Watchtower is sleeping with the devil. Watchtower is sleeping with the devil, or with Babylon the Great, or whoever. I don't know, but she's one big ass whore. Watchtower. The governing body are a bunch of bitches. They're sleeping around with the United Nations, and they sound identical to the United Nations. And the disfellowshipping that you're seeing on an international level, everywhere, it resembles everything that you lived through when you were a member of the Jehovah's Witness religion. Hey, so here's this crazy conspiracy theorist, Gilbert, signing out. And I want to be talking about this on my next video. I want to talk to you about why I got this really nice shirt. It has a beautiful story. So I hope to talk to you guys soon. And I hope to also do another video with my brother. He wants to talk about what Watchtower is doing as far as their building projects in New York, and how the building projects is another example of how Watchtower is in bed with the United Nations. It's amazing, and it's from their own words. They're telling you from their own words who they're sleeping with, and they're telling you who they're trying to get the approval from. You know, when we talk, you can learn a lot about a person. Jesus says, you know, from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. You can learn a lot about a person by the way he or she speaks. And so in this other video that my brother and I are going to do about the building projects that Watchtower is engaged in, and if you just listen to what they're saying, you're going to find out that who are they trying to please? Are they trying to please Jesus? Are they trying to please their followers? Are they trying to please, you know, the lowliest publishers? Who is Watchtower trying to please in their building projects, in the literature that they have describing what they're doing? Jesus said again, from the abundance of the heart, it reveals who Watchtower is in bed with. And we're going to get that video out real soon, I hope, okay? So be looking out for that. Okay, if you think I'm crazy, let me know. Say, hey, Gilbert, you're a whack job. Okay, you won't be the first. Talk to you soon.